42 teams, 3 hours of racing, and a whole lot of tarmac. Welcome to the SorryMate.com Endurance.
So again, a big warm welcome here to Snetterton for round 4 of the Hottrax Motorsports SorryMate.com Endurance Series. 3 hours of non-stop round and round around the circuit to find out who in the various classes, the National Endurance and of course the Junior Endurance, to see who will take their trophies home. It's down to James on the start line.
So welcome to what is going to be the start of a somewhat wet 3-hour endurance. All the teams and riders now lining up. Number 7, Tank Racing. Looks like Peter Baker's decided to do a little bit of endurance racing. All the riders now heading off to do their warm-up lap, and they'll literally form up, ready for the Le Mans style start.
Well, here they are. Warm-up lap is done and dusted. They're going to park their bikes back up by the start line, and it's then across the other side, and it's the big run on the Le Mans start, which is quite spectacular. James, it's wet out there and they're all running on slick tyres.
Yes, to say the least. It's a little bit greasy. We've heard that it's wet over this part of the circuit, but over the back it's pretty dry. So Sweatshop Racing out there, and they've got a couple of guest riders in there, so Mick Godfrey there as per usual. But liners all running up on the opposite side of the grid. Of course, one of our main features of our Le Mans style start. There you go, a red flag is up, so all riders ready to go. Oh, a little bit of a jolt there for that's the number 74 that decides to head off, but looks like they're away and off, and I can see the Dilks Racing brothers just slotting into about 4th place. M&M Racing, the current leaders in the National 600s, just slot in ahead of the Sweatshop Racing machine number 2. JRR Racing Treble 9 get a reasonably good start as well. Good mix of red and yellow armband wearing people, and well, you can see that they are being somewhat tentative this morning, Kenny.
It's very slippery out there and they're running on slick tyres. We had that shower just arrive at the start when they were coming onto the grid, so very unexpected. Everybody was having a bit of panic. Look at that rain on the far side of the circuit, big black cloud. Hopefully that's going to clear up, but it's very, very damp out there and very, very slippery. 120 then leads them around the circuit at the moment.
Yeah, well, that's Lewis Mason who leads ahead, and of course these guys unsurmountable in the National 600 series. We also see the Ridgeback Racing boys just going through shot. So of course, well, at the moment they're going around the newly resurfaced and of course a complete redesigned Snetterton 300, now 2.99 miles rather than the 2.14 circuit. Here we go then. This is a start with Peter Baker. Well, he's the Tank Racing team this weekend. Of course, Johnny 5, John Otter, was the replacement rider with Chris Mason as they head down towards the first corner. Everybody tentative, but well, here we go. Looks like that is Chris Mason of Tank Racing, who seems to be a little bit indecisive about what tyres he should be sticking on at the moment. I think there were wets under there. There we go. There is your treaded wet tyre. Very, very soft compound indeed. And these guys will be out there on track, but well, as we now see, the track has begun to dry. Lewis Mason still heading up the National 600s, and I think that is the number 85 of Peter Dilks, the Dilks Racing in the back. And then 115, the Visor Vision team. Of course, that's Paul Berryman, who has had a relatively strong year until Anglesey, where he decided to smash his bike and smash it to smithereens and get that swept into the back of the van. So Ducks Cross Racing as well, the number 22 machine, and there is the number 130 team as well.
Just to explain to us, James, that it's a part of the track is wet. They're all out there on slicks. When can they come in and change tyres?
Well, they can actually come in at any time they want, Kenny, to be fair. There is no penalty given if you want to come in. These guys have a maximum of 20 minutes out there on track.
There seems to be a problem for the Doghouse Racing Gary Janes. He's coming out of that. We're going to go down and join James in the pits as he talks to Nigel Bradlaugh.
So we're here in the pits with Nigel Bradlaugh. I think a changeover is imminent at some point. J&B Racing Team, but Nigel, I know you've done racing before, but this is one of your first forays into endurance, isn't it?
It is indeed, yeah. I used to race 30 years ago, can you believe, 3 decades, on a TZ 250 at Croft. But my son wanted to go racing and, you know, I wanted to do it again, so we decided to come and do Hottrax Endurance, and he's setting a good pace out there now, so he's giving me all the work to keep the tempo going.
Great stuff. We'll try and follow your progress throughout the show, but best of luck.
Thanks very much, James. Thank you.
Well, he's a happy little boy. Old tyre changing going on here. Chris Mason from Michelin, the tank racing team. His partner Peter Baker out on track at the moment, so it's going to change to what? Wets or slicks? It's a bit difficult to see that. James is back. What do you reckon, James?
Well, it certainly looks like the slicks were being put in there. There's one of our Michelin Power Cup riders there, just doing a bit of lap timing out there on the fence on the front straight as we see a couple of the riders whiz by. And, well, there is Lewis Mason on the 120 with Peter Dilks, and that's the number 4 machine also out there at the Derek Redmond 4. So Neil Garnham and Tony Rogers just heading off into Hamilton, and not really setting the pace alight at the moment with the number 122 machine of TDM Racing, Messrs Merritt and Martin just behind them. Got a few of the novice jackets out there as well. These guys will be running in the junior and thousands and 600s. But, well, certainly looks to be a bit of a freight train out there at the moment at the Snetterton. Here we go then. Changeovers are now imminent.
That's a 74 bike coming in. And are they going to change tyres?
No, it doesn't look like they're going to. Both of those out there on Dunlops by the looks of things. So Roundall Racing doing their changeover. And we can see them swapping over the all-important transponder.
It's the Royal Air Force boys.
Yes, it is. Yeah, hence the Roundall Racing. There we go. The ubiquitous signboard going out. Now, here's Freddie Pett. Freddie Pett races normally in the Trans 675 series, but Freddie has decided to come and join us for the weekend. He was also racing in the Moto Grande 600s as well. So with that changeover done, he heads off, and I think we'll be seeing more of him throughout the show. There is the 102 machine also coming in. So that is our series sponsors, sorrymate.com. So Fergus Delgado out there with one of the Dilks boys. And, well, look who it is. Mr. Flint. Hello there, sir.
Bit of a celebrity with us.
He is, well, yes, but not really in the paddock. He's just an all-round gentleman, to say the least, very much into his bike. But there is Peter Baker, the Morello-sponsored rider, out on his R1. So he's still out there, and it looks like, well, it's Robbie Moore who's now taken over running from the pit stop racing machine of the Dilks brothers. And looks like these guys are still having that tussle out on track. And, well, that looks to me to be Carl Dodwell as well on the Sherwood Motorcycles number 25 machine, heading down toward Hamilton Corner, as we see tank racing and going for another changeover. So Peter Baker in. Looks like that changeover happening relatively swiftly. You can see these guys organising themselves, making sure that the bike is pointed in the right direction and everything ready to go so they can minimise their time in the pits. So we
here with Chris.
You might be wondering what that slight delay is. What he's doing is he's just putting his foot down there. You must come to a complete stop when you come into and exiting the pits. Make sure you don't cross that white line. Oh, that's a good changeover there. If you cross that white line, that will be a 30-second penalty imposed. So he wait till the...
Chris Mason is quite an accomplished endurance racer, isn't he?
Well, he is actually, yes. I mean, he's been racing with us for 2 years now, but my understanding is that he has done a couple of KRC rounds as well, as we see the number 24 machine slotting neatly around corner 1. So that's simply black and white. Messrs Brooking and James McBride returning from retirement just to have a bit of a test around this new Snetterton circuit. There we go, Lewis Mason's board going out to him, the number 120 machine, saying, well, you're in P2 at the moment. Here's the leaderboard.
So junior thousands there, Derek Redmond, 27 laps. The national 600s with the M&M Racing, national thousands with Tank Racing, and the Brown brothers leading the junior 600. Let's join James in the pits.
So leaders in the junior thousands, we've got the crew chief here, Derek Redmond, which is slightly confusing because he has got his own team here, but Tank Racing, the number 7 team, Peter Baker out there on track at the moment. Derek, looks like that Peter Baker's certainly the weapon in your arsenal.
Well, certainly in their team, Peter Baker is pretty much the star of the show. I mean, everybody knows who Peter Baker is, and he's a bit of a legend among track racers. So yeah, I'm actually helping Visor Vision, who's in the same garage as Peter, which are running third at the moment. We've got our team, as I say, in the junior, Derek Redmond Racing, who are leading at the moment. So I'm helping out Visor Vision because our team's got everybody. I'm not racing. But yeah, Peter and the Tank Racing guys are obviously doing very well.